During World War II, the Allied armies faced one of their greatest obstacles in Italy. The Gustav Line, a powerful German defensive system stretching across central Italy and blocking the road to Rome. Built around mountains, rivers, bunkers, mines, artillery, and machine guns, it was designed to make any Allied advance extremely costly. At its center stood Monte Cassino, where German troops used the rugged terrain to create a formidable natural fortress. But during the decisive offensive of May 1944, a remarkable force of Moroccan mountain fighters helped turn the German defensive advantage into a weakness. These soldiers were the Moroccan Goumiers, light infantry units serving with the French Army of Africa and recruited mainly from Morocco. The Goumiers were different from conventional infantry. They carried relatively light equipment and were trained to move rapidly across mountains, rocky slopes, narrow trails, and difficult terrain. Their greatest advantage was their ability to fight where ordinary troops struggled to move. They could climb steep mountains, cross ravines, operate at night, and approach enemy positions from unexpected directions. During Operation Diadem, the final major Allied offensive against the Gustav Line, French forces attacked through the rugged Orensay Mountains west of the Liri Valley. This was exactly the kind of terrain in which the Goumiers excelled. Instead of advancing only along roads and valleys, they moved directly through the mountains, using darkness, surprise, and mobility to penetrate German defenses. German commanders believed the mountains themselves would slow or stop an enemy advance. The Goumiers proved them wrong. Moving along steep ridges and narrow valleys, they infiltrated areas that German troops considered almost impossible for large forces to cross. They could appear on the flanks or behind defensive positions, forcing German units to fight in directions they had not expected. Their tactics relied on speed, stealth, endurance, and surprise rather than heavy weapons. Night movement was particularly important. Under cover of darkness, Goumier units could approach German positions and launch sudden attacks at close range. The fighting was brutal. Soldiers had to climb mountains while carrying weapons and supplies, often under enemy fire and in difficult weather. Combat frequently became a close-range struggle involving rifles, grenades, and bayonets. Their reputation for ferocity also placed enormous psychological pressure on German defenders. More importantly, the Goumiers threatened the structure of the Gustav Line itself. German defenses depended on strong positions supporting one another. Once Allied troops penetrated between these positions and reached their flanks or rear, the entire system became vulnerable. The Goumiers helped create this situation by advancing through terrain that bypassed many of the strongest German positions. Their movements threatened communications and supply routes and forced German commanders to divert troops to protect exposed areas. As the pressure increased, the defensive line began to lose its cohesion. The breakthrough was not achieved by the Goumiers alone. Artillery, infantry, armor, and other Allied formations all played important roles. But the Goumiers provided something the offensive desperately needed: troops capable of moving through terrain that conventional units found extremely difficult. Once the German defenses began to collapse, Allied forces exploited the opening and advanced through the Liri Valley. The road toward Rome was finally opened, and on June 4, 1944, Allied troops entered the Italian capital. The campaign demonstrated a crucial principle of mountain warfare. Terrain that protects a defender can become an advantage for an attacker who knows how to use it. The Goumiers treated the mountains not as barriers, but as roads, attacking where German commanders felt safest and forcing them away from their prepared positions. However, their history in Italy is also deeply controversial. During and after the Allied advance, particularly in areas south of Rome, numerous allegations of atrocities were made against Goumier units, including rape, murder, robbery, and violence against civilians. These events remain a painful part of the Italian campaign and complicate the traditional image of the Goumiers as heroic mountain fighters. Their military achievements and the suffering associated with their actions must both be remembered. Nevertheless, their battlefield role during the assault on the Gustav Line remains remarkable. The Moroccan Goumiers demonstrated that lightly equipped soldiers with exceptional mountain skills could have a major strategic impact against a heavily fortified enemy. By moving through the mountains, striking from unexpected directions, and threatening German flanks and rear positions, they helped break one of the strongest defensive systems in Italy. Their story is one of endurance, tactical flexibility, and brutal combat, but also a reminder that military history contains both extraordinary achievements and terrible human suffering. The Goumiers did not simply fight through the Gustav Line. They exploited the very mountains the Germans believed would protect them, helping open the road to Rome and changing the course of the Italian campaign.